Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. Good evening, good morning to one and all who are joining in live in this Youth Ki Baat e-dialogue session with our very known Mr. Erik Solheim and advocate Afroz Shah. Thank you for participating in this dialogue and joining in this online session with us today. As all of you are aware, Mr. Erik Solheim is a well-known global leader on environment and development, as well as an experienced peace negotiator. He served as Norwegian Minister of Environment and International Development from 2005 to 2012. During that period, he initiated the global program for conservation of rainforests and brought through game-changing national legislation among the Biodiversity Act and legislation to protect Oslo city forests. He brought Norwegian development assistance to 1% of the highest in the world. Mr. Erik has also been a chair of OECD Development Assistance Committee, the main body of world donors, as well as executive director of United Nations Environment Program. He led the peace efforts in Sri Lanka as the main negotiator of the peace process and played a vital role in peace efforts in Nepal, Myanmar, and Sudan. Currently, he is a senior advisor at World Resource Institute and convener of the Global Coalition for Green Belt and Road and serves as the CEO of the Plastic Revolution Foundation. The latter is only a newly founded initiative that aims to eliminate plastic waste and pollution, beginning in Accra, Ghana, and many more. Mr. Erik is also an advisor to Singapore-based April RGE and co-chair of Trillion, a Singapore-based green blockchain company. Apart from that, he's a leader with wisdom to guide not only the present, but in the future as well, with his present actions. Thank you so much, Erik, once again for joining us in this session today.
Thank you so much, and good morning, good afternoon to everyone, wherever you are in India or the rest of the world.
Alongside, we have advocate Afroz Shah, who is a very recognized and well-known youth leader across the country and around the globe. He is a LLM gold medalist, master's in law from Mumbai University. He is a lawyer, counsel at Bombay High Court, and is a youth activist and environmentalist known across the world for initiating the largest beach cleanup project, which started alone and now has grown into a mass movement in the past 272 weeks. Inspired by Mr. Afroz Shah and the community cleanup, United Nations launched Global Clean Seas campaign. Advocate Afroz has been on a date with ocean and cleaned the entire Warsaw beach and is in process of transforming the Danapani beach in Mumbai. All of you are aware, River Methi has already been rejuvenated, and that is the efforts of Afroz and his entire team. Advocate Afroz has also localized the SDGs at the grassroots level with more than 2 lakh citizens and over 150,000 students regularly by working on roster system by removing more than 40 million kgs of plastic and filth from the ocean, beaches, creeks, rivers, forests, and stopping over 1.5 million plastic pieces from entering water bodies in the last 2 years. Advocate Afroz is a recipient of United Nations Champion of the Earth and happened to be the first Indian to receive this award and has been recognized as the Indian of the Year by CNN News 918 in 2017. Thank you so much, Advocate Afroz, for accepting our invite and being here with us today. Thank you once again.
My pleasure. Good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in Mumbai, Calcutta, Delhi, Madras. Welcome to the Facebook Live with Shailesh.
Thank you. Before entering into this entire conversation that we are going to have today, we wish to show a small video, which comes back from 2017, from the 19th World Festival of Youth and Students, where over 30,000 young leaders from over 188 countries, all over with their unique history, projects, ideas, and expectations were coming together as a confluence of leadership of youth projects. The video that we would show would also contain and talk about how Advocate Afroz Shah was doing a duet with one of the Russia's most famous singer, Miss Fiona Tolnikova. after the stage performance as well, what I've informed rightly, a roundtable conference with President Vladimir Putin was also organized with about 10 to 15 young leaders from across the globe. And it is a matter of pride that Mr. Afroz Shah was one of them. So we would request our team to show that video, and then we'll carry ahead with our.
Russia. Our life is drowning in plastic, and this plastic drowning is a reality. Our colas, our daily breads, our favorite biscuits come packed in plastic. Shopping at malls and stores and almost everything up for sale is packed in plastic. Plastic is part of our daily lives, and not many seems to mind this. We gift this plastic packaging to our landfill and to our oceans, rivers, and lakes. The landfill and oceans are choking with plastic. Remote, uninhabited, pristine places and dense urban habitats and sparse rural settings are sending us pictures of pollution which mankind has not seen before. Marine species mistake plastic for food and swallow them. People relishing fishes on their plate have plastic on their menu. Our beaches have become plastic graveyard. Our oceans, lakes, rivers have turned into sewers. This is a fact, this is real, and this is now. Life of convenience, habit of littering, attitude of it's okay to continue this way, and our future resolve to do this endlessly is driving us nowhere but driving our planet into a garbage planet and our ocean into a plastic ocean.
Have you ever gone with the river flow? Have you ever felt raging ocean storm? A drop of water as light as the air, tears of daughters, those who they really care. Have you ever felt like lifeless souls when the rivers are drained, the world intoxicated? Take my hand and sing, hold on and be strong. Clean your soul. Let's save our
But there is hope and good news. I can reverse all this when I say I, it means each of us. I must start taking small baby steps which have big impact. I must handle garbage as I handle my life, wisely and properly. I must make my house zero garbage, segregate the garbage, turn wet garbage into compost, dry garbage into money by recycling. I have handled plastic badly, I must handle it properly. Refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle must become a part of my life as far as plastic is concerned. Then I must go out and clean my neighborhood, my ocean, my beach, my forest, and provoke others to do the same. These small steps have big impact. They are easy and require minimum effort. It is a simple tweak in our minds from life of convenience to life of existence.
to watch the dance of dying swan, drowning in the dark of a night pond. It is hard to hear the last thrill of a bird flying above the hills of a garbage dumps. Have you ever found a countless joy when the rivers are drained, the world intoxicated? Take my hand, sing, hold on and be strong.
narrative that big governments, powerful courts, successful corporates, collective democracy and governance are responsible to save our planet and ocean must change to the narrative that individuals are equally responsible to save our planet and our ocean. It's my planet, my earth, my ocean, my forest, my river. I have taken these small steps. Thousands and thousands of volunteers have taken these small steps. I urge you to take these small steps. I don't want to be a living person without a planet home to call my own. I do my bit every day. Please do your bit every day. Spasiba Russia, spasiba Sochi.
Have you ever felt like lifeless souls? When the rivers are drained, the world intoxicated, take my hand and sing. And be strong. Clear our soul. Let's save our home. Please hold on and be strong. Together we can clean our souls. Let's save our home. So come on, let's be strong. Hold on, save our home.
Адвокат, обладатель титула Организации Объединенных Наций, чемпион Земли.
And I think this is simply wow. This entire video has reflected on four important aspects, and I think we would like to thank Advocate Afroz for putting in such efforts and thoughts behind it, that individuals are equally responsible. We need to make our house the zero garbage and taking small baby steps so that we can save our homes. And I think there is nothing better message that can come out towards contributing for climate action and then localizing SDG 30. Quickly moving on to what we are going to discuss today. As we all know that our topic of discussion is around what is the role of youth in incrementally becoming unplastic. It is important to realize the ongoing crisis of entire COVID-19 that has increased the consumption of plastic pollution with threefold and has led to more consumption of plastic than ever. Once, while plastic was considered to be one of the biggest inventions of the world, it has now become the biggest threat to the human existence. Back in 2019, inspired by people like Afroz and Mr. Erik, we started a campaign called the Unplastic India, an initiative to incrementally reduce single-use plastic. And we did realize that the biggest challenge while creating an awareness that was what would be the alternatives of single-use plastic. Today, not only 100,000 young people across the country have pledged to become unplastic, but also more than 1,000 institutions have joined hands to incrementally become unplastic by 2022. Rather, now we have more than 10 alternatives to single-use plastic curated by marginalized communities, thereby strengthening the rural economy, creating a circular economy as Advocate Afro strongly advocated for, and curating such products which are nature-based and locally made. Of this process, we have learned that in the villages in India still continues to curate sustainable and eco-friendly products. And as Youth of India has been on a mission to make 10 villages unplastic by 2021, two of them which have already been completed, one in West Bengal and another in Tripura, and thereby called for Global Unplastic Day to celebrate and commemorate the collective actions being taken to unplastic the earth by young activists across the globe. While I believe that every day is an unplastic day, and individually, as the video reflected, we should take efforts every day in incrementally becoming unplastic. Without much delay, I would now request and go to both our speakers, Erik and Afroz, to maybe over to Erik first. Erik, what would be your opening remarks on the given subject and the topic that we have today?
Thank you so much, Salesh, for this and for the opportunity to speak to so many great people. I know that young people can change the world. No one else will do it. If young people don't change the world, who will do it? I mean, you cannot wait for someone else. So please pick up the fight and start changing the world. And let me give you one inspiring example. It's a young girl. She was 12 years old at the time. Her name is Severin Suzuki. She's from Canada. And at the biggest of all environment meetings in the world in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 1992, she spoke. And she really spoke up to power, telling the global leaders, you need to change. We are on the wrong path, please change. And I have spoken about her on numerous occasions. And then young people have said, no, but this shows nothing works. Because she spoke up to power in 1992 and the world didn't change. Look, we have the plastic problem, we have the climate change and many problems. But then they forget, what did she speak about? She spoke about the major problems of that time. And at the time, there were two main environment problems in the world. One was the hole in the ozone layer, which was disappearing, with very, very dangerous effect for us humans. We can get a lot of cancer if we don't treat it. And the other was acid rain, destroying animals and destroying agriculture in many parts of the world. And today, no one is talking about the hole in the ozone layer. Hardly anyone is talking about acid rain. Why is that? The problems are resolved. And Severin Suzuki was, of course, not alone, but there was a huge movement all over the world to resolve these problems, to put pressure on business and political leaders to change. And then we see change. I think there is a kind of universal theory of what brings change. That's also what will bring change for plastics. Number one, you need a strong people's movement. That's how Mahatma Gandhi transformed India and brought independence to India. And that's how Afroz Shah, not alone, but with tens and hundreds of thousands of volunteers, have completely transformed the conversation about plastic, because people see how it's destroying the beaches. And Afroz has shown that if people stand up, they can change, they can clean the beaches, but they can also demand change from politics. So that's one, citizens' movement for change. Second, you need brave political leaders to understand that time for change has come and do change. And I believe that Prime Minister Modi, such a leader in India, is repeatedly spoken about his strong desire to fight plastic and clean up India and make Mother India what it is, this incredibly beautiful land from the Himalayas to the deserts of Rajasthan, to the rice paddies of Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu. It's such an incredible, fantastic land, but it needs to be much cleaner. The Ganga, the big rivers need to be cleaner, the beaches need to be cleaner, the national parks need to be clean, and the Prime Minister is ready to drive this change again with the people of India. And thirdly, of course, you need business, because only business can be innovative, bring the new technologies we need, and find ways of changing, while at the same time keeping up the living standards and avoid people being moved into poverty. To the country, see environment as a way to get out of poverty. So what do we need to, if we have this theory of change, citizens movement, political leaders, and business, what are the practical steps on plastics? Again, there are three. Number one, let's get rid of all the plastics which we simply don't use. I mean, where is the person who cannot drink straight from the cup or from the glass? Your mother did that, your grandmother did that. Indians have been drinking from cups and glass through thousands of years. Do we really need a straw? Or can we just throw it away? Well, if there are people who need a straw for medical reasons, let them have it. But let's not have it for everyone and throw it away. And plastic bags, can't we carry our stuff from the supermarket or from the neighboring store, buy something else? Do we need to celebrate all festivals with balloons? I mean, when you look to it, there are numerous plastic items we simply don't need. Let's prohibit them. That's what's happening now in many Indian states. It's happening in the European Union for all of Europe. So this is really encouraging. That it will not resolve the problem, but it will make the problem smaller. Secondly, let's look into what are the alternative sources of plastic materials. Do we need to make them all from oil? Or can we make them from cassava, from sugarcane, from potatoes, and so that they degrade in nature? If you throw away a plastic bag made from potatoes, well, it will degrade in nature the same way as if you throw away a banana or an orange. It's not dangerous to throw a banana into the forest. In a few days, it will have disappeared. And if we can make plastic the same way, the problem will be much smaller. And thirdly, of course, we need, as Afroz said in his beautiful speech in Sochi, we need to recycle. We need plastic for certain things. I mean, for instance, for the cleanliness in hospitals, plastic is very useful. It's also very useful to make sure that food can last longer. But let's then bring in that plastic, reuse it or recycle it. So plastic, if we look to the plastic problem, we have all the technologies which we need. We have all the money we need. It's not just a matter of mobilizing the public opinion of the world for change. I will hand over the floor to Afroz. He is the inspiring example of how this can happen. I have known Afroz now for the last 4 years, and I know how he was so fucking tired to see his beats being destroyed by plastic. One day it just went on, starting the cleanup, and people were inspired all over Mumbai, but all over India. So please, youth of India, youth of the world, pick up this fight, and in 10 years' time, we will have won.
Right. Rightly said by Erik. We need to have citizen partnership engagements, movements, then have a strong political will and leadership. And then this would also be attached with the business movements and business groups that needs to come together. So that becomes like a sandwich to what we wish to do in solving the plastic pollution. And we are so glad, Erik, that you helped us bring Advocate Afroz on board with us, who has inspired just not youth of India, but the youth of world. So I would request Afroz to share, what you have done has transformed the entire way one thinks. So what inspired you to take such an action, and what were the biggest challenges that you had faced as yourself?
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I say something or answer your question, first of all, I must express my gratitude to Erik. Erik, being the leader he is, a leader full of wisdom, and to share the same space or the same stage with him is something, a big privilege for me. Having said that, Shailesh, leaders like you, young people coming forward, itself is a privilege for this country to see that young people who could have opted to do different things in their lives have opted to now focus on protecting Mother Nature or coexisting with other species. Having said that, let me put it in the right perspective of what happened here. I was a lawyer. I'm a lawyer at Bombay High Court, and you see, a lawyer's life is like a regular life. You go a morning. I used to leave 8 o'clock at my house, reach my chamber 9:30. My senior Darius Kambara, I was practicing with him then, and you would attend the matters, do your conferences, and come back. When I shifted to Warsaw, that's where I spent my childhood. And suddenly, when you see your beach gone, you're in a shock. Being a lawyer, your first impression is, let's move the court, as people do these days. You see, the good old days, 5-6 years back, public interest litigations were very rampant in Mumbai High Court. I still remember in 2012-13, then the Chief Justice Swatantra Kumar would sit in the courtroom number 40, or the courtroom number 50 to the central courtroom at Bombay High Court, full of people. I mean, I used to appear that time, and at least more than 80 to 100 PILs being heard. And I watched very curiously as a lawyer. I appeared in so many of them. I argued in so many of them. And I used to wonder that what prompts people to come to knock at the Chief Justice court, which he's seeing lacking at the government level. So the theory, the narrative was this, that if the Prime Minister doesn't do it, the Chief Minister doesn't do it, let's go to the judges. They'll help us. The democracy is, in this 20th century and 21st century has been set on a platform where you say, you knock at one door, you go to other door, knock at the other door, they can solve the problem. And actually the solution lies here in your head and my head. The problem is that, and you are searching for solution all around. Now, by saying so, I'm not giving a free pass to the government or the judges who have to act as per the constitutional norms or the democratic norms and the rule of law. What I'm saying is the picture is very simple. Pollution starts in your head and it must end in your head. Now you will say, Afroz, what is this? Pollution starts in your head, it must end in your head. You look at your life every day, Shailesh. Look what you do. Everybody who's listening to me, figure out what you do. Early morning, you get up, you get your breakfast, find out what are the things you're doing with your breakfast, the kind of food you're eating, the kind of packaging you're getting, then the lunch and the dinner, then the traveling. And then when you drop the whole picture of 24 hours, you realize it's actually pollution starts with you and ends with you. So when I landed here at Warsaw, I told myself, should I move the court? Should I go complain to the local municipality? Very fashionable those days to do it. Oh, if a lawyer moves the court to get his beach clean, a lawyer goes. But I chose the way of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi taught us between 1910 to 1947, 48, that life has different facets. And one of the facets of one's journey is to do it yourself. You may rely on somebody to do it something for the others, but the moment you say, I'm a human being and I'm a species living here, so my existence is coexisting with a turtle, a whale, a shark, and hence I must do what has to be done by them and what I have to do myself. So what do you do yourself? As you saw me speak in Sochi, and as Erik put it out rightly, youth, young people, the narrative now is this, that go to the government, go to the courts, keep on complaining, keep on doing things. You see, now you go to social media, last few months you have seen in India what a turmoil it has been. You dread to open your Twitter account, you dread to open your Facebook account, because you see there are only two things which you see: complain and hatred. This world is full of complaint and hatred. And in this, when you see complaint and hatred, complain and hatred, complain and hatred, you tell yourself, I will adopt the journey of Mahatma Gandhi. I will adopt the journey of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. I will adopt the journey of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who said, let's do something for our country. What stops me? I have 168 hours in a week. Why shouldn't I do something? And Shailesh, mind you, I'll put a question to you, myself, and every Indian. We are 1.5 billion and 7 billion people living. What do? You see on 15th August, 26th January, they'll say, I love my country. What is that love? What is the connotation of that love? How do you show your love? It's like telling Shailesh, if you're dating somebody and you say to that girl or to your companion, I love you, and don't even take out him or her for a coffee out, how would you react? The companion will shoot back saying, at least step out for a coffee, have some dinner, spend some time. It's exactly that way with the country, and it's exactly that way with the Mother Nature. See, when you say you're born here, you're born to spend time. That spending time must be with love and empathy, and that love and empathy must be related to action. Otherwise, you see, this world is full of followers, full of followers. You give one shout, at my beach cleanup, one shout out, and there are hundreds of people coming in. The world is short on leaders now. We need leaders and youth leaders who will understand that they're born leaders and they must step forward and fulfill the responsibility of existing with other species. So when I came to Warsaw, that was playing on my mind. Being a lawyer, I had seen at the court what was happening. So I took that baby step. I said, let's go, chalo, let's go out and clean. But being a lawyer, I understood it was not about clean beaches. You see, a lot of people misunderstand beach cleaning. I must tell them, beach cleaning is not about clean beaches. The consequence may be a clean beach or not a clean beach, but the idea is to change the mindset of people who are coming there. We have a beautiful phrase in English, learn while doing. That's exactly beach cleanup does. When you pick up a piece of plastic, you look at it, you think you have used it at your home, you think you've put it in your garbage, you think you have littered it, and now it's landed at the beach. And not only at the beach, it's landed in the mouth of a turtle or a shark or a whale. You know, at Warsaw for past 4-5 years, I've had innumerable turtles dead if you open their stomach full of plastic. Innumerable dolphins dead washed if you open their stomach full of plastic. What do you do with it? Why are you making them eat plastic? What is the problem with us? For one cup of coffee at Starbucks, by the way, Starbucks tells you get your mug, you'll get a discount. You don't want to do that. You want to play it easy. You go there, take that mug, eat, have your coffee, dump it. Do you know every packaging which you get, where does it land? Does it land in Mother Nature? Does it land in the landfill? What happens? We don't think because it's so easy. We just get our food and do what we have to do, step out, do what we have to do. But what we don't realize is we are attacking these other species by our habit. Forget about love, we are attacking them. Their life is in trouble. You see, you know, a lot of people talk to me about cleaning, circular economy. I tell them we'll have to draw up a larger picture, as Erik pointed out. Can I alone do it? No. But should I begin the journey? Yes. Now, people ask the wrong question and they get a wrong answer. If I ask myself, oh, I'm starting to make the world change, so there the problem arises. If I tell myself I'm starting to begin my own journey because I exist with a shark, I exist with a turtle, I exist with a whale, that's what it should be. The right question, you'll get a right answer. I am not under hallucination that we have come to change the world. There are many millions of men of wisdom came into this world and went away. They made their changes, whatever, but they completed their journey. Plastic is that. Every small step dealing with plastic pollution has to be dealt with in a way in which it doesn't trouble a marine species. And see, a lot of people misunderstand plastic also. They attack plastic and call for plastic pollution is the problem. Of course, you drop the bigger argument whether you should have fossil fuel or no, whether the byproduct is plastic, whether we should go all to renewable. Yes, 7 billion will take a little while to understand and implement it. Start must be made. We must shift to renewable. We must give up. So that's where circular economy comes in, you know, where I'm training up thousands of people. And you look, a city like Mumbai, we are 25 million, you know, and you look at the people living in human ocean conflict zone or human animal conflict zone, absolutely living in 10 by 10 houses. They have to have their breakfast, lunch, dinner. They have to go and earn it. How do you converse with them that you should love Mother Nature also? They're deprived. They're economically weak. They're not in a position to tell you what's going on. And there you land up and tell them, can we hold a hand together? 8-year-old boy or a girl in a slum tells me, sir, we want to do it with you. We want to do it like you. And we want to continue this journey. That's where the change lies. Mahatma Gandhi did exactly that. He went to the roots of the roots down. And he said, I work here. And hence at my cleanups, you know, I call myself a Safai Karmachari in spite of being a lawyer. And I tell that I'm a Safai Karmachari and I must behave like one and be like one, because that's a very noble profession to be a Safai Karmachari. Nobody does a good job than a Safai Karmachari on this planet. But as Erik pointed out, it's not about one person, it's not about one species, it's not about one profession, it's not about one politician, it's not about one actor, it's all about all of us. So when you say all about us, collaborations must go on. People must take leadership, people must collaborate, the government must collaborate. You see, as a lawyer, I'll tell you, there are so many laws in this country, Shailesh. As a lawyer, I've seen it. I've appeared for the government, against the government. Unprecedented amount of law, policy, regulation. Every prime minister, new prime minister or chief minister thinks of reforming the legal system. How many prime ministers or chief ministers have you seen who are at the ground like Mahatma Gandhi saying that every week I'll step out and do 2 hours of my thing, 2 hours of groundwork? Because the system is such, they're surrounded with kind of the bureaucracy and the paperwork, you know, and doing things which has to be done in a way in which they understand constitution. Like I understood constitution in a completely different way. I understood that if I have rights, I have duty. It's not only about my rights all the time. I may have a right to life, I may have a right to freedom of speech, of expression, but there's a fundamental duty, and one of the duties is to protect and preserve the environment. How do you now balance it? That's one aspect of rights and duties. Then there's another aspect of two rights colliding, rights of me as a human and rights of a other species to existing. How do you draw that delicate balance? Don't they have the right to be left alone? You know, 2-3 high courts have taken it up. You know, being a lawyer, I keep a track of it. In Allahabad High Court, Uttarakhand High Court, they passed orders saying that rivers have life and river must have the right of others as other species have. But the question doesn't go further. By saying that you have right, we understand they have a right. Now, how do you enforce that right at the ground? Who will enforce it? Where is the mechanism? Whether Shailesh, you will do it, I'll do it, or Eric has to do it, or the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has to do it, or the government machinery has to do it. Where is the sword? Where is the purse? Where is the wisdom? Where is the application of mind? And all these questions will have to be answered by all of us, Shailesh. It's very important. The earlier we answer, the better it is, because not for my life. I don't get worried. I may die. People may die. But it's the life of other species. You can't kill a turtle, for God's sake. You cannot kill a whale. You cannot kill a shark. You have no right to put plastic into their mouth. You have no right to increase their temperature in their ocean. That's their habitat, their life. We have forgotten to respect those rights. So when I saw all that, Shailesh, I started the work, and I said, let's make a start by cleaning beach. So cleaning beaches is not about clean beaches. Beach cleaning is not about clean beaches, but it helps you to change mind. You go back and make those necessary changes in your life. Young students actually are doing it in a big way. I see the change there between the age group of 8 to 20. And people like you will take up this eventually. I hope many, many, many more leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Vallabhbhai Patel are born, Baba Sahib Ambedkar in this country. We need this in 21st century, not for you and me, but for the voiceless marine species. They need leadership now.
This is completely inspiring to hear. I mean, I think as Afroz has also stated, we even, as Youth of India, we started our journey as well with a no. And we took it as a new opportunity wherein we requested young people to contribute a part of their pocket money where the pocket money could help people go out with their dates, with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, spend on certain activities. And we requested that you contribute a part of your pocket money for so and so cause. And we didn't realize that young people are more eager to date on different aspects than just the date that we can think or talk about. Thank you so much, Afroz, with what you have stated. I think it is absolutely right. It is not about the change that we want to make. It is about the lives of the other species as well. And pollution starts from our mind and it ends in our mind. And I think what you said is aptly correct, that we need to adopt the journey. And we need to start by doing it by ourselves. We need to get our hands dirty. And thank you so much for being an inspiration and for being a role model for a lot of young people across the country, around the globe, and including myself. However, just moving ahead to Erik, who has inspired young people around the globe with his positivity, with his encouragement, and then who leads young people into the future by his present actions. Erik, how do you think that the young people can become unplastic, and what can one individual do according to you?
I very much believe the recipe is exactly what Afro said. Do two things. Start your own journey. Avoid the plastics and act like you want to save the planet with your own actions. And secondly, mobilize with others, because yes, you need to start a journey yourself, but you cannot go all the way yourself. You need allies. And then, of course, putting pressure in India, put pressure on the BJP, put pressure on Congress, put pressure on all the other political parties and on the political leadership, and also put pressure on Reliance or Coca-Cola or Tata or all those who are involved with business. If you do this, start with yourself, while at the same time engaging with others and putting pressure, then you can come a long way. Because this problem is resolvable. Some problems are so intricate that humans struggle to resolve them. But the plastic problem is well within our reach if people do this, mobilize society and act individually.
Right, so true, and that is so right. Afroz, would you like to share, what are, what would be your tips for galvanizing young people for taking action, and how can one do that?
Nothing much, Harry. Just go and do it. That's all. There are two English words, do it. I don't see why should I sermonize or patronize people on what should be done. It's so easy. I'll give you an example. When you are at your home, take it up the tips from your home itself. Your bedroom has to be clean. Your bathroom has to be clean. Your dining table has to be clean. Your kitchen has to be clean. Now, nobody asks you, can I ask you, Shailesh? Oh, Shailesh, how do you keep your house clean? Give tips to me also. I do it, you do it, everybody does it. The fact that your houses are clean, that means you want it to be clean. You don't want any kind of diseases or any kind of things which are obnoxious on you. So you should make sure that obnoxious, whether it's solid waste or liquid waste, should not enter the habitat of others. For that, you'll have to do baby steps. Start taking baby steps. I'll tell you, starting point could be this, which I do always. Whenever I'm confronted with a problem, I take a pen and paper. I write down there are 10 issues facing me, which is the low hanging fruit I can start with. Say, for example, you have 10 plastic pieces in your house. Every day you get it. Now you go to the first one. How do you get rid of it? How do you get rid of it? Or if not rid of it, how do I recycle it? So first is to reduce garbage. Then second is to recycle whatever you have generated. So that's how you start. Small baby step. Don't do too many things at too much. You see, a lot of people want to do this, want to do that. I'm not personally in favor of. Do small things, do simple things, do basic things. That's how the journey must be. Too many things you try to do at one go, it may not land you anywhere. In fact, it may get you in a confused state. So simple basic steps. How could I take these baby steps? Then wherever you are, just step out and clean a little patch wherever you are. Third, as Erik rightly pointed out, collaborate with people up. Collaboration is the key. Go meet your local. I did that. I met my government. I met my municipality. A lot of people ask me, Afroz, you don't attack this government. You don't attack that government. I tell them, I stand for constitution. I stand for rule of law. Now, whoever is in the power, I will have to now engage with them. They are the tools. People have voted them. I may not like them. People have voted them. You have to work with them and make them do work for Mother Nature. So all these small things of collaborating, doing it yourself, and developing compassion, love, empathy for other species automatically comes out. Like Shailesh, if you're in love, you know how to woo your partner. Nobody has to give. Do you go to Mr. Modi and tell, please tell me how do I date somebody? It'll be harakari if you ask the Prime Minister, please give tips on dating. That's beside the point. He's not married. That's another aspect of it. But nobody would dare ask the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister. You will do it yourself. You know how to woo a girl or a boy. You know what steps to take. Now, if you say you love Mother Nature or you love the country, you should know how to take the steps. Somebody may give you little tips here and there. So it's do it yourself. Start with small things at home. How to get rid of, start with a straw, then with the plastic cups, how to carry your own mugs. Like in my bag, if you open for years on, I have owned my mug, I have my own water bottle, I have my own tiffin. So you won't believe if I go to a burger joint, of course, because of pandemic, I can't do, I must honestly tell you, because those guys are not accepting that right now because of the fear. I give my own utensils. They put the burger there. And I've traveled globally. At airports, I've done it. Now, when you go to an airport, it's so casual on your and my part. You go to a counter, you pick up whatever they give you, and there you think it's an airport. What do? I have no recourse. Now, if you carry a small tiffin in your bag, you can just get rid of that garbage. Now, imagine if I do it, I'm one. If 7 billion do it, what will happen? 7 billion pieces of garbage gone in a second by taking that 20-second or 10-second decision of carrying my own tiffin. So sometimes when I'm at the airport, I buy it, I put it out on social media telling it's so easy to do it. What stops you? No, nobody wants to carry the water bottle. Nobody wants to carry the tiffin. Nobody wants to carry the tea, coffee mug. These three things you want because you want to eat outside. This pandemic, surprisingly, the zoonotic diseases are teaching us a lot, which we were not able to learn. So that's a good start, that do these small baby steps, change habits, then talk to others, have conversations, and do action. You see, this world is full of talk now, Shailesh. As a lawyer, I get fed up because so much argument you have heard at the court. You keep on arguing about every, then हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना बाल की खाल निकालना हर छोटी छोटी चीज को changes करना. What we have to do is instead of talking, we should start doing.
Yes.
That's the key. There's too much talk in this world and there are too many followers. So if you find a lot of doers and a lot of leaders, it will become easy for all of us.
Absolutely right. Afroz, what you have said is so true. I think with the same idea of what you said, that if we could just incrementally remove usage of one single-use plastic item from our lives, that would make a lot of difference. We have been using this mugs which are made out of recycled the coconuts which were used, and then these glasses are made, and I carry them along. And about 1 lakh young people, 100,000 young people across the country have pledged to stop using one single-use plastic item from their daily life.
Yes.
And I think that is really important with what you said. And we reconcile with what Erik has mentioned. It is about collaboration, which you again advocated for. Once we collaborate with each other, things become so easier. And trust me, with people like you who keep on inspiring and making us sure that this is exactly how we do, we feel very happy and glad that we are in the direction that leads us to contributing something meaningful. Maybe not for others, but for myself while I stay here. And that's selfishness that I think can carry along with.
So that the tip is, Shailesh, start loving the other species as you love your family. That gets the best out of you. Love gets the best out of people. Love. Whenever people are in a situation where it's love involved, it gets the best out. Start loving a turtle, a whale, a shark, and then you'll get the best out, saying that I'll do the best things possible for them.
I would like to also that a lot of our other youth activists are joining in. But before hearing to their inspirational stories, I would quickly like to ask Erik. Erik, because you have worked with various stakeholders across the globe, including youth activists, politicians, decision makers, and then the groups that inspire and make sure that things has to happen that way. But so we would like to ask, and that is also coming on our live by one of our volunteers, though. So Erik, how do you think that a day dedicated for a cause, including that of eliminating single-use plastic, and what Afroz has been doing, do you think such days of curating maybe on a global platform would go a long way in contributing to collective actions and efforts?
Shailesh, before Erik answers, I must answer a little bit on Erik's behalf. Erik is very kind not to speak. See, Erik was the first leader in the world who held my hand, I must tell you. Not many people have the bravery and the wisdom and the application of mind to see where this movement would have run. Erik was somebody who came on the ground. He rolled up his sleeve. He cleaned the beach with me, and he mentored me. Not many people you find that way in this world who will go out and say that, oh, this is possible. Here is somebody working at a serious issue. So Erik is somebody who actually mentored me in that capacity, saying that, Afroz, you're not alone. We will be with you. We'll hold our hand together. And he showed what I call a true collaboration. When the world didn't hold my hand, it was Erik who held my hand then. In 2016, I still remember on October 2, Gandhi Jayanti 2016, he was rolled up and cleaning up the beaches here with me. Absolutely marvelous feeling. I had tears rolling down my eyes that day when I went on the stage. I said, look at this country of Mahatma Gandhi. I still have leaders to approach me and tell me. And sorry, not saying that I was losing heart then, but Erik was somebody who mentored you and told you that, Afroz, move ahead. We must do it together. So that's Erik for you. Not many people know about it, of how that journey started on October 2, 2016. He was there. 1 year of my beach cleanup and training up people. Erik was at the ground rolling up his sleeve, and you have to see how he was picking up buckets of plastic after plastic. And once he saw this huge problem, his wisdom swung into action, and he did at UN Environment what he had to do. He got the whole plastic pollution problem at the center stage of the global narrative. The discussion started there and there.
It was just giving me goosebumps. And thank you, Erik, once again for bringing the plastic pollution at the center stage and making sure that plastic is recognized, and people across the globe are now realizing that how plastic has become a threat. However, Erik, over to you on your thoughts.
In history, sometimes an issue reach kind of critical point. That's when people understand we cannot live this way any longer. We need to change. That has happened repeatedly throughout history, and that's exactly the point we are now on plastics, because everyone understands we cannot continue like this. Plastics, as Afroz has repeatedly say, it's killing animals at a massive scale. There was a whale dying in Thailand. It was vomiting plastic bags while dying. It was so horrible to see. Turtles, it's seabirds, it's also land creatures like camels and cows. We cannot continue to feed the animals with plastics. Secondly, no one claims this is good for our health. small fractions of plastic, microplastic or nanoplastic, is in water. We drink the water, we eat the fish and get it from fish, and we get it from the air. We do not know the exact effect on the human body as yet. A lot of more research will have to be done. But you don't find one doctor in the entire world who believes this is good for us. We don't want our bodies to be full of plastic. And thirdly, plastic pollution is also an economic threat. In Bali, in Indonesia, for instance, they have said this is a major threat to our jobs. Why? We are a tourist place. Where is the young tourist who want to dive into a plastic soup? No one wants that. So I'm absolutely confident that we will turn around this matter in the years to come. But for that to happen, we need activists like Afroz. I mean, he was really the initiator of this in India. In Indonesia, you had two young sisters called Weissen. They started buy plastic bags in Bali and engaged a lot of people. And all around the world, you see young people now driving the change. Time has come. We cannot live this any longer. So we have to change, and we will change.
That is so right, as mentioned. And I think it has become once again, as Erik had initiated that movement of having plastic pollution at the center stage, it has now become crucial that we advance our efforts by maybe bringing through a coalition of young people and having an international day on making sure that we commemorate the collective actions being taken by people across the globe to remind us that how important it is to stop the usage of single-use plastic, and at the same time celebrate each day, as Afroz and Erik has again and again mentioned, to celebrate each day as unplastic and to make sure that we implement them in our daily life. Now, both of you, Erik and Afroz, you have been an inspiration for all of us who are also young people who are joining in now. Now we were in the front stage of sharing our experiences and thoughts. Now, if may I request, that we would go on a backstage a little and then encourage other youth activists who are inspiringly doing amazing work across the country. I must say, we have Yashika on behalf of UNESCO, Anand, Satyam, who have been inspiring work at the grassroots level and curating, as Afroz was mentioning, about the nature-based solutions and products from the rurals of economies and engaging more marginalized young people. So before, with Erik's request and permission, we thought that we could have this, and Erik said that yes, we need to bring more young people and more youth topics and more youth solutions at the forefront. So at the first, I would like to introduce Yashika, who comes from UNESCO. And UNESCO is a word, an amalgamation of unique and eco, to provide eco-friendly and sustainable products in never seen before avatar. Their motto happens to be sharing sustainable happiness and to curb the environmental threats of climate change and plastic pollution by introducing an exclusive and innovative range of climate positive, productive and products and solutions which are made out of various organic, natural, industrial waste, coconut waste, sugarcane waste, and biodegradable materials. Alongside, they're also trying to support 5 marginalized communities of our society by employing them to handcraft our products. Yashika, I would request you to kindly share your opinions and thoughts. What are the works that you and your team are doing?
Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Yashika Bharti, a team member of UNESCO Green Earth Private Limited. As he said, UNESCO is an amalgamation of unique and eco-friendly. So it means that we provide eco-friendly and sustainable products in a never seen before avatar. Our motto is sharing sustainable happiness, and we strive to curb the environmental threats of climate change and plastic pollution. We are a team of young and passionate people. Our brand mascot is Polu, the polar bear. We chose Polu because due to climate change and global warming, the glaciers are melting and it is a threat to their survival and habitats. We want to save the lives of Polu, the polar bear, by reducing the carbon footprint. We provide alternatives to earth polluting materials. We have an innovative range of climate positive products made from natural, handmade, organic, and biodegradable materials such as cotton, jute, cork, bamboo, and recycled paper. We have product range for office, home, and gifting purposes like file folder, plantable notepads, plantable pens and pencils, and core coasters, jute coasters, mouse pads, and jute and cotton bags. All our products are climate positive and reduce carbon footprint. Our products are packed in an eco-friendly packaging which can be reused for other purposes as well. We support people from marginalized community by giving them an opportunity to work with us. We are not just environmentally responsible but also socially responsible. We strive to fulfill the Sustainable Development Goal of 13, 14, and 15. Sustainable Development Goal 13 is climate action, 14 is life below water, and 15 is life on land. We have reduced more than 14.82 tons of carbon dioxide emissions and 85 tons of plastic. We have saved more than 14,800 liters of water, 183.4 megawatt per hour electricity, and 182 trees. We have created employment for 24 people from the marginalized community. We are committed to heal the planet and make the planet happy. For that, we need your support. So I request you all responsible humans to please visit our website www.uneco.com, that is UNEAKO, and buy our hard-crafted product solutions to begin your zero waste journey. Thank you.
And yes, Afroz, you were going to share something?
No, absolutely wonderful, Yashika.
And you know,
At such a young age, you took that step. I don't think so at your age I would have ever thought I would do that. Absolutely brilliant. Please go ahead, all the best, and I hope India is listening to you, and I hope India responds to you by buying all your products.
And you know, this is one of the products that is made. It is a folder. It is a conference, a folder that we could see, and they're made out of hay and recycled papers. So they collect the papers across from the country and then add hay sticks and hay to create these products. And it is completely amazing. And while I was there at the Ocean Conference this year in the month of February, not only that I speak about your initiatives as well, Afroz, but then I also got a chance to share about their products and how they are inspiring and engaging more marginalized communities, people as well to this entire, and creating a circular economy, building businesses as well. The second youth activist is Mr. Anand Maligavat, who is working as a lake conservationist at Bangalore. Within 3 years, he has rejuvenated 8 lakes and planted 50,000 saplings in and around the city. He has been up on this plan of rejuvenating 45 lakes by 2022, and he has already completed 10 lakes before the end of 2020, which was his vision and mission. Before getting him to speak, I would quickly share a minute video of his works, and which is inspiring people across the country as well.
Take a look.
Water is life. Most of us are familiar with this teaching, but bringing it to practice in our lives is not always easy. One engineer in Bengaluru has made protecting and reviving dying lakes in a city the mission of his life. He has so far revived 6 lakes. The journey began with Kyalasannahalli Lake near the Electronic City. Engineer by profession, Anand Maligavat got the opportunity to work on water bodies as part of a CSR initiative of his employer, Sansera Foundation. With monetary support from the company and cooperation of the locals, the lake was brought back to life in just 45 days. There was a time when there was hardly any water in the lake, and it had converted into a dumping ground for garbage. But now it has returned to its original shape. The project inspires Anand to such an extent that he left his secure job to make conservation of lakes his primary vocation.
जल शक्ति ही जल शक्ति है। ये क्या है? ये एक आदमी लीडरशिप बन के अगर 130 करोड़ आदमी को एक मैसेज दे दिया, हमारे देश में वो फॉलो करता है। इसलिए ये पावरफुल बन के हमारा पानी का सेवा होगा और बचत होगा। And also second thing is lakes are eyes of the earth.
Anand's efforts did not only save Kyalasannahalli Lake, but soon transformed it into a habitat for fish and other creatures. The first challenge in the process was to stop waste sewer water and garbage from being discharged into the lake. Anand reached out to the local villagers.
And now I would request Anand to share his journey and what he's been doing as well. Anand, if you could unmute and please.
Good evening, all of you. And it's my privilege to share this particular forum. Thanks to Mr. Erik and all the Shailesh, Mr. Afroz Shah, and Yashika. We are all together, right? So we are all like-minded people today. We met, and thank you for Shailesh for bringing all youth, green youth together. I started my journey from 1996 in Bangalore. I seen Bangalore, like 15-20 feet. We used to get the best potable water, and over a period of time, 2020, we have reached 700 to almost 1,000 feet now, and success rate of borewells are gone. Like out of 100 borewells, you don't even get in a 3 to 4 borewells. So I seen it. And so much of time I was listening to Mr. Afroz and Mr. Erik, that same mindset, same thought, that instead of fighting, instead of talking, blaming each other, and doing activism or other thing, I thought individually let me practice, right? See, because you cannot inspire in 2020 by telling formulas or some like some lines. People are so smart, and people are very, now generation is too matured, right? They see what exactly you do, right? That is what Afroz and Mr. Erik were mentioning. Like, I thought of rejuvenating lakes in a less cost, less time, and ecological way, and ancient way, because all the lakes are here from thousands of years. It is going to be here thousands of years. Me and someone who is activist, we come in the journey and go off. That's it. But I wanted to do certain things sustainable. To do the sustainable thing, what can I do? Means in the ecosystem, whatever the missing links, I have to put it back. That's it, my job. Not creating complete system, because it's not going to sustain that way. And also people, when like 1,800 lakes were there in Bangalore, now left out is 230. Bangalore was a lake city. Now it is having about 84 lakes in a pathetic condition. So I started from 2016, and I started researching on different lakes. I visited about hundreds of lakes, and I studied about topography and entire catchments and soil condition, ecology, biodiversity. And because being a mechanical guy, I did not know much about lakes and other things. Then over a period of time, I created a module, and I met a lot of villagers and so many people, and learned so many things from them. And also, there were a biggest, toughest thing is lake takes about crores to gather money, and it will take years to gather time. And it's not easy to rejuvenate with a single-handedly. That myth I wanted to break for youth, because in the Karnataka itself, there are 36,800 lakes listed. Unlisted, there are plenty, right? So if one Anand, somebody else, we rejuvenate. Whole life, if you do every day 10 lakes, you can't even touch 10% of the lakes. My idea was that to give a best message to youth, that I rejuvenated a lake in a 45 days. I rejuvenated a lake of 36 acre in a less than crore time. And also all the lakes are now best habitats. And I just put a missed links back, right? So whole idea is that now I started also rejuvenating a stream wise. One lake overflows to other lake, so that all the lakes will go into sustain. So lakes are lungs of the earth, eyes of the earth, because wetlands, without that there is no any underground water at all. So that way I started my journey. And now when I started first time, I did not have money, time, anything. but I approached to my management and took about 1 crore money and took about 45 days time, and I rejuvenated first lake. Then people thought that it is a magical way this guy did. It's not possible. It's not a easy solution that everybody can do that. Then, but nature grace. Now I have touched 10 lakes. All 10 lakes are rejuvenated in less than 60 days, and all 10 lakes are rejuvenated in a less than a crores money, which is less than 1/4 of what other stakeholders are doing it. And if you see from 190 acres of lake, barren land, dump yard, now I converted them into 21 lakh cubic meter water holding capacity. And also, I also created forest, like grassland, like wetland, like, like a Miyawaki forest, like traditional forest all around the lake. You will find 1/2 to 3 feet, about 5 kg fishes you find in my lake. Around 60 to 70 variety of birds are there today. And not only I am doing it, continuously I am inspiring, people by my work, by not, just I am asking people to do it, this, do it, that. I am quietly doing it. I am quietly, people are understanding that this guy is done 10 lakes in 3 years time. Now my dream is by 2025, I am planning to rejuvenate about 45 lakes. Not only like Bangalore, I have also formed one committee called Lake Revivers Collective. Save India, one lake at a time. That way, and we have identified 21 cities across the country, and everywhere, like my experiences, my thought process, my model of the project, like.
I think Anand is muted, but your journey happens to be an inspiring as well of how you want to that you have already conserved more than 10 lakhs in over 3 years, and you just take you just take 1/4 of what others would be thinking of to rejuvenate the lakes as well. I would now go on to a 15-year-old Satyam, who started cleaning River Mahananda while he was 15. And he believed that it is essential for one of us to get out and get dirty, as Afroz has always been mentioning, in order to protect the river, which is one of the main source of water for the city in Siliguri. Deeply saddened by the irresponsible behavior of people, including himself, he says, on a Sunday, he went alone to the river to clean it, and eventually students started joining in, and thus Sunday Students was evolved and formed. I would request Satyam to share his journey and thoughts.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Salesh, for inviting me to this platform. Thank you, Youth of India. And I feel privileged to be among Mr. Afroz Shah, Mr. Erik, who have been my inspiration to start this journey. Last year, I had my summer break and I was wondering as to what I should do for the society. And then I came across your video on YouTube, and how you started the entire beach cleanup and turtles started being seen again. So that was quite an inspiration for me, and that was how the entire journey started. Now, our very process of Sunday Students, or how I like to call it, Main Plastic Wala, started off with this idea that most of us in India consider someone who comes to take our garbage, we term it as very demeanor, kachra wala. We don't pay much attention to them. So that is how the thought evolved of us calling ourselves proud plastic walas. That is why our entire team started calling ourselves plastic walas. We felt proud to pluck plastic from the riverbeds and trying to clean it up. We started off with River Mahananda, and in 10 weeks, 94 students cleared approximately 2,500 kilograms of plastic. And seeing you and seeing other climate activists, we were quite inspired. And the way we got down to the ground reality, all of us activists, we can sit here and we can talk a lot about how we can take steps and how initiative can be put into action. But until we go down to ground reality, we do not really know as to how we can do things. Just like Mr. Afroz Shah stated right now, no one can teach us as to how we have to clean our own homes. Similarly, no one can teach us as to how we can clean beaches or our environment. When we go down to the ground reality, to the grassroots, and you talk to the locals living there, you get to know how and in what condition they are staying. So when we talked to them, they were like, Bhaiya, why do you want to remove this plastic and what are the benefits? And when we explained it to them, how it is causing such a problem to the entire environment, children of 3 years, 4 years, they joined our campaign and they started cleaning themselves. So that was quite an inspiration for all of us. And that is how the entire team of Sunday students and Main Plastic Wala got evolved. So as I end here, I feel proud to call myself Main Plastic Wala, and I feel proud to share this entire stage with all of you.
Afroz, he shares your ideals of Safai Karmachari.
The only difference is I started a little late in life. He's early bird. I think maybe in 3-4 years, the whole river there will become. See, people from Northeast are very special, Shailesh, in this country. I share a very deep bond. I went to Meghalaya last year, so I was cleaning one of the rivers there with some locals there. And Northeast itself is a beautiful place. The people out there are outstandingly beautiful. Very special connect. And then you see Satyam here talking about it. Your heart just pops to your mouth saying that, oh my God, you have these 15, 18-year-olds in Northeast doing all this. Salute to you, Satyam. Salute to you. It's a huge amount of respect to what you do and huge amount of love from Mumbai to what you do. I wish every youngster behaves like you in this country and all our problems will just evaporate into thin air.
Right. Talking about Northeast region, Eric, and you have always been an advocate of what we do. And the last person whom I'm going to talk about is from Assam, Dhritiman Bora. He has actually curated such sustainable products which would become as an alternative to single-use plastic. And what Afroz has been talking about again and again, that he carries his own tiffin with him during everywhere that he travels. I think Dhritiman products could be one of the best ways as well. And you could rightly see behind him the kind of products that he has. And now I would request Dhritiman to share more of his journey and what he has been doing as well. Please unmute yourself and please share your journey, Dhritiman. Dhritiman, we can't hear you. If you could unmute yourself. ধৃতিমান যদি আনমিউট করতে পারো তাহলে ভালো হবে একটু আমরা শুনতে পারছি না
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, I am Dhritiman Bora from Deep Industries. I start Deep Industries was 2002 starting according to the bamboo factory. Deep Industries manufactures all bamboo products and once those industry. The industries produce a wide range of bamboo products. So bamboo furnitures, bamboo gardening products, bamboo utility products, and bamboo kitchen products. Bamboo is a green wood, and bamboo is a property of Assam. So very good news, Assam and India. Our bamboo organic bottles famous in all world. So you can see my products. This is organic bamboo bottles, 100% organic material and 100% natural. You want this one? 100% organic and bamboo bottles. More very simple cups 100% organic straw, okay, packaging box, okay, spoons, and yeah, etc. So bottles, uh, drinking in a very good health side. Uh, so I hope that it is useful.
I think, however, we could hear there could be some network or some challenges, but then we could really understand the kind of work that he's been doing as well. Creating 100% organic products, and now it is being also exported to more than 15 countries. And he comes from, where even the internet connectivity for now isn't very strong. He comes from that area in the northeast region, wherein it's difficult to even have good access to a lot of different aspects around us. And I think these are young people who have been doing great work. So, just now coming towards the end of the session, I would request Erik to, maybe share some thoughts on what these young people are doing, and what would be your final message to the youth of India and then to the youth of the world.
The final message is very simple. Please keep up your good work. Please inspire others, but of course also please allow yourself to be inspired by others. There is so much to be done, but there is also so much promise with young people in India these days. And of course, not only in India, you see young people acting in Europe, China, America, all over the world. But change will come from a new generation who want to resolve the problems of our time. And if we look to the 21st century, the main issues of this century are the environment problems. Let's solve pollution, let's solve climate change, and let's stop destroying nature, whether it's forest or the ocean or killing animals or plants. So all these are within our hands, and that's why I'm so optimistic, because I know that we can resolve them. I think we need what I call green optimism, environment optimism, earth optimism, and that we get if we inspire each other. So thanks, you have inspired me a lot here today, and let's continue to share views. I have been to nearly all parts of India except for the northeast. So I'm happy to come one day to Assam or to some of the smaller states in the northeast. Maybe Afroz and myself can go there together and see what you're doing, and we can be inspired. I'm also looking into how plastic cleanups can be done. And Afroz will also now set up a foundation which will spread the good word about all he has been doing and all the examples which people can learn from. So let's continue our dialogue after this very good seminar. And if anyone has any message to me, please send me by email or by Twitter. And I'm also happy to share any good news from young people in India on my Twitter account so that more people can learn about it.
Fantastic. This is absolutely amazing. But Afroz, what would be your thoughts on the same?
After hearing these young, what I should address them as, these are young leaders of present. There's nothing more left to be said, but people who are listening to me on this Facebook Live, young people, please go out and take charge of Mother Nature. Take charge of your country, take charge of your city, take charge of your ocean, take charge of your lake, take charge of your river. That's required. The democracy shouldn't end by voting and paying your taxes. Democracy must function in a very true democratic way, as the constitution makers did, Take charge and start doing little bit. Play simple, play basic, inspire others, and keep on doing small things, baby step, which I call in everyday life. Leadership stems from that, from the grassroots, as Satyam has ably pointed out, and he's doing it. Wherever you are near a lake, go clean it, find out what locals are saying, why the problem is erupted, how can you collaborate with the locals and make sure that the river flows clean, make sure that the fish is taken. So start doing small basic steps. And it's only the young people, Shailesh, who actually, I see hope and inspiration only in the young guys. And when I say young, it's not by age. You may be older in age, but if your thought process is young, it is bound to be young.
Right.
Thank you, Shailesh, for having me here. And thank you to all these wonderful Anand, great work in Bangalore. 10 lakes, more 50 to go. Good luck, good luck. I think this country is very proud of you, what you're doing. I feel very, very, my heart swells with pride when I hear Anand, saying that 10 lakes. How many young people can do it in this world? Amazing work, Anand, amazing work. God bless you, my friend. God bless you.
I think it is rightly said, and as we come towards the end of this entire discussion, while we reached out to Erik for having a dialogue on this, and he was like, yes, we should just go ahead. And he is supporting me as well for a year and about more now. And then he said, I think Afroz should be the right person as well to bring on board. And then he connected. And then all of a sudden I email him, Erik, do you think that the other Youth of India initiatives that are happening across the country by us should we bring on board? And he's like, yes, we should bring more initiatives from across the country. And see the background that we're coming from. We have someone from the Northeast and the Northeastern region, someone from the Southern region, someone from the Northern region, and Afroz definitely from the Western region as well. So the entire perspective of the nation, all the regions of the 5 regions that we see are also heard. And then also about, we believe strongly as an India in a very strong saying that swasmai swalpam samajaya sarvasvam. That means a little bit for oneself and everything for the society. And that is exactly what even Mahatma Gandhi has said. Even that is what exactly even young leaders like Afroz is talking about. That is exactly what even Erik has been mentioning again and again. And absolutely that is how young people are also leading it. And I remember quite rightly while I was there in the General Assembly last year, just sharing one of the very best practices of the sustainable solutions that the villages are doing. And this is exactly what even Gandhi said. If you want to know the country, if you want to develop a country, go down to its villages, go down to its 6 lakh villages that we have. And I think villages are the ones for curating products like this, which are made out of mud and clay, this is called kulhar, or the mud glass or the clay glass. We drink tea and coffee maybe, So I took it last year to UN and I had a chance to gift it as a token of gratitude to Secretary General. And he was so much awestruck when I said that this is a glass which is being curated by people in the village. And then they use it, reuse it. And once they are bored, they throw it back in the mud and it decomposes and it mixes with the mud. And then a lot of national and international media started taking it as the glass of the century. And then I realized that it is not the multinational companies or it is not the rural, the cities that are making it, but these are the villages which are curating such nature-based, sustainable, eco-friendly products. And that is exactly where I think the right solution of alternatives to single-use plastic would come again from. So thank you so much once again for everyone for this amazing dialogue, for sharing your insights. Thank you so much, Erik and Advocate Afroz, for accepting and being here on a dais and inspiring more and more young people as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, just a moment, please. Sorry, we just got a request on Facebook Live that if we could have a digital date with Ocean.
I think a digital date with the Ocean will give a tough time to Tinder and the grinders of the world. You need to make an app now, Shailesh, which says date with Ocean. I don't know how many will date there other than being on Tinder and Grindr.
Just over the next 5 minutes, I would go on the digital date of Ocean and then let young people get more inspiration.
My ocean is ill. My ocean is holding much more heat than it can. My ocean's belly is full of plastic. My Warsaw beach was symbolic of the health of the ocean. But me, my thousands of volunteers, my local municipality, reclaimed the Warsaw beach and told the world that we can do it and we will continue doing it. The bargain was a clean Warsaw beach and the bargain was an endangered olive lily turtle. hatching and nesting on Warsaw Beach, and swimming back into the ocean. Pollution, marine pollution, problem of marine debris is in your and my face because of your and my mindset. Your and my mindset is that it's not my job to protect and preserve the environment. I have polluted and I must own up. We must move from life of convenience to life of existence. Take, for example, city of Mumbai. It has a population of 25 million. Out of the 25 million, 60% of them live in human ocean conflict zone. People who live in this human ocean conflict zone are polluting our ocean, water bodies, our stormwater drains, our lakes, our rivers. There's a need in this 21st century to go there and tell them that can we, when I say we, can you and me go and do something about it? And once we start doing this mundane, boring, and monotonous activity every week after week, we will come to a position as a human race that we will try to exist peacefully with other species. This peaceful existence with other species is the key to the survival of this planet and the survival of other species. As I love my family, as I love my country, I must now extend this love, feelings of love, not only to the human race, but to these other species. To my mind, it is always a big problem, local and small solution. All stakeholders will have to work towards this journey to connect with nature, to love oceans. You know, this whole debate about plastic pollution, how it must be handled, who will handle it, how it will be effective at the ground level, will be a learning process for all of us. The first step should be to refuse it so that you carry your own packaging and make sure that your eating habit or your life of convenience doesn't hit a whale or a shark or a dolphin or turtle. The only problem is you can make a packaging recyclable, but the question will boil down to the fact that it hasn't been recyclable. You can tell that I can clean the beach, but do you do it often enough to make sure that your beaches are clean? The crucial word which I keep on using quite often is we have lost the sense of belonging. My house is my house, my car is my car, my office is my office, my children are my children, my family is my family. But the ocean, the earth, the lake, the forest, the rivers belongs to somebody else. So a plastic producer, a plastic manufacturer, a consumer, a student, a school kid, a housewife, a doctor, a lawyer, an actor, wherever you are, whatever your profession, you will not only do participative democracy in the form of saying that I will vote for you, I'll pay your taxes, but your duty under the constitution or the law of the land saying that I am equally responsible to protect it. And this journey will have to be filled with love. We are in week 181 of our journey. This journey has been long, slow, lovely, and amazing. In this journey, we have been able to pick up from my beach alone, one beach, 20 million kgs of plastic. This small journey of ours resulted in a clean Warsaw Beach. We cleaned another beach in Mumbai now, which is called Danapani Beach. Maybe that beach will come clean in another 6 months. Our new love is to rejuvenate river meeting. River meeting west of Mumbai and entering into Arabian Sea, where more than 5 million people are on the banks of this river. And they are all in the human ocean conflict zone. Rejuvenation of river meeting is on at this point of time, where not only the river is being cleaned, but people living on the banks of the rivers are getting connected to river by adopting circular economy. To love Mother Nature, circular economy will have to reach each and every one of us. Every company which is involved in selling a product which requires packaging will have to design the packaging so that it loves Mother Nature. A citizen who generates garbage, he needs to understand that generation of garbage is harmful. He needs to understand what steps to be taken. He needs to understand that how, as a responsible citizen, he should handle this garbage. Our beaches have become plastic graveyard. Our oceans, lakes, rivers have turned into sewers. This is a fact, this is real, and this is now. Life of convenience, habit of littering, attitude of it's okay to continue this way, and our future resolve to do this endlessly is driving us nowhere but driving our planet into a garbage planet and our ocean into a plastic ocean. If you're a young student or a young leader, you'll have to take that leadership on. A kid of 8 years, 12 years will have to tell this world that I want to be a part of the solution. I want to be a part of a journey where positivity is executed on people around them. This world is full of complaint and hate at this point of time. Our social media is reeking of it. And in this background, we in Mumbai are working very hard to create a language of love for fellow humans, a language of love for fellow species, a language of love to the beautiful ocean which fills our planet with health, prosperity, and it's so much giving to all of us. 70,000 citizens living in human ocean conflict zone have adopted circular economy. 60,000 students are working every week on a roster system. I pledge to reduce plastic. I pledge to reuse plastic. I pledge to recycle plastic. If some of us in Mumbai can do it, you can do it too. Or all of us together can do it. Let's take these baby steps. Let's show our love for Mother Nature every week by doing ground action. We are in for a long haul. This accolade is dedicated to every volunteer who's helped me pick up each plastic piece to keep our oceans clean. Let's begin.
So this was a quick digital date with Ocean. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, Erik, for taking out your time for being with us. Thank you, Advocate Afroz. Thank you, Satya, Anand, Yashika, and everyone, Dittiman. Thank you to all our viewers as well. Thank you. Namaste.